Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Walkthrough Wednesday on the channel. It's Hardstyle start to finish part 2. The big room producer tries to make Hardstyle and fails miserably. Now, it's the response last time was really good. There was a bit of feedback from the boys in the Discord saying that there was too much sidechain. I overlooked that. When I listened to Hardstyle, there's literally no sidechain. It's very, very minimal. So I've reduced the sidechain, so it should sound a little bit more authentic now. Does sound a little bit more like the modern day Hardstyle, like the Eurodance influence stuff. You know, W&W, Axmo, the boys have been producing that for a while now. Sounds a little bit like that, which I think most of you are probably more interested in. I don't think there's many of you that follow me and wanted to make like the real old school Hardstyle. But anyway, any more comments? Let me know. Is there any feedback? Is there anything you want me to change? Anything you want me to add? Please let me know, because this track is just as much yours as it is mine. This project, I'm making this so that I can give the project file on my selfie page, so you can download it and change it into whatever you want, basically, and help you take your music to the next level. On that same sentence, if you want to take your music to the next level with samples and MIDI files, you need to download my new sample pack. Patreon exclusive, so only my patrons get this. For $5 a month, you can get these sounds. Now, it is called Essential Rave Sounds because these are sounds that I will be using in all my tracks. These are, you know, you've got acid stuff, you've got techno stuff, you've got big room stuff, hardstyle, trance, psy-trance. There's a bit of everything in there for you. Also future rave as well. There's some really cool future rave stuff. So if you want to get involved, just hit the link in my description. Come join the family. We're a great family over there. Also, by the time you watch this in 2 days time, there will be a new Patreon exclusive mix. What is that? Now, Patreon exclusive mix, I play music every month, a radio show with just music from my patrons. So if you're an active patron subscriber, you can send me your demo in the DM and I will play it on the show. Check the last episode on my SoundCloud because the music quality is amazing. You guys are really killing it right now. But I'm not going to sell out anymore. We're going to jump straight into this track. This is what we have so far. This is the break climax section. And this is the drop. So that is the gist. That is going to be our main drop in the track. The drop before that, I'm going to go for probably a reverse bass kind of drop. We'll get some cool screeches, stuff like that. Got some really sick stuff from Sound Freak, as you can see here. Well, my ugly face is covering it. But I got some cool vocals, I got some cool screeches from the guys over there, so we'll be using a lot of that as well. I saw a comment in the last video about how does the kick pitch without actually distorting it, blah blah. Well, it's actually a Nexus sequence, right? You can put whatever you want in this sequence, it's going to play. So as you can see, I am just playing notes like you would on a piano roll for like a respace or something, right? But it's playing and it's keeping that tonal punch. It's keeping the punch but moving the tonal sub up and down the scale, right? And it's not distorting it too much. It's sounding really clean. The reason I did this, time. Making hardstyle kicks from scratch would probably be like a 3-4 hour thing on its own, and I'm not the best at that. I'm never going to act like I can make a hardstyle kick from scratch. Go and watch Frontliner, those kind of guys who literally make insane kicks from scratch. This is more if you're kind of new to the genre, where do you start? Because this sounds almost as good, right? And this is just a great way to start putting tracks together and start learning the genre. You can't jump to a new genre and start making everything yourself. You're just going to lag behind the curve. So if you go into a new genre, use as many samples, as many presets as possible from the genre. After 3 or 4 years, you'll start making them yourself, right? With Big Room, I started out using Big Room presets, blah, blah. Now, I still use Big Room presets, but I can modify them slightly to make them my own. It's that kind of thing, you know. The more experienced you are, the better you'll get with it. So don't worry too much about that. To me, it's always how it sounds. To a listener, it's always how it sounds. It doesn't matter how you got to that point. There's so many DJs ghost produce, for example, and the fans just don't care because they just want the music, right? So bear that in mind if you are learning to just put tracks together and stuff. So that's what we have. Where do we go from here? Okay, so what I'm going to do is try and work out a rough structure. I should have actually listened to some references. I might go and do that for the breakdown because I'm not too sure where we're going to go with the breakdown. So we've got the big climax here. I know that we're going to have a big gap here of silence. It's going to sweep up, very big room style. Then we're going to have a build up. Maybe we can get away with a 30-second build up, really build the tension here. But the melody is the same, so yeah, so maybe we like filter it down here, and then yeah, we can do that now, I guess. So what we're going to do is put a filter on the lead bus channel, and we're going to filter down the melody just like this. And it's going to go down, and then it's going to come back up towards the drop. We're going to change the melody slightly though, so we're going to duplicate this just by clicking clone, and I'm going to turn all these off because we're going to do the standard big room thing, this kind of thing. Maybe we can do something like this to be extra fancy. Then we're just going to build it up like that. Put these in there like that. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to pitch it up though, because I don't want it to sound too big room, right? Let's just see how it sounds without. We're going to counteract this with an endless smile. This is, you know, the golden Ollie James technique. I like, when I'm using a filter, I like to have an endless smile reverb doing the opposite. So we're going to start with this low, and we're going to move it up to the midway point, then we're going to get rid of it. Now this just makes the transition with the filter so much more smooth. Now we're going to have to copy over the melody to the other layers in the lead. So we'll just make sure we get this right. Got the June one there, B5, and what's that one on? B5 also, perfect. So what we can do there is pitch it up, maybe, if we need to. We've just got to get the context of the build-up first. So what I'm going to do is bounce away for half a second for you and check some references, and I will be back. Okay, so we can go about this a few different ways. I looked at a few references. Now, the boys over at Sound Freak sent me some hardstyle vocals. Now I think it would only be fair to give these a little bit of a spin. Let's have a look at some of these, see if we can get something cool into our breakdown, because then that really dictates how we go about making the breakdown. So have a look at some of these, those like typical hardstyle vocals.
Light and keep our focus to our goal. To stand unity, make us whole.
Let's see how it sounds without respace though, without respace melody.
Let us wander into light and keep our focus to our goal. To show love and never fight. Respect and unity make us whole. The spark of hope will ignite to shine brighter than gold.
Sick, man.
Picture yourself in a mythical reality. Imagine the different things you'd do, the things you'd change, and the dreams you would pursue. You wouldn't be yourself, but someone new. A person that describes your true self. Somebody who sees people through. This is your world, your mythical reality.
Oh, okay, so see things like this just instantly give you that inspiration, right? Now your head is like, oh, we'll do this, this, this. I always tell my Patreon members, the ones I do sessions with, I always say, like, try and keep your sounds fresh, keep getting new sounds, because one sample within a sample pack can, like, ignite a whole track. Like, it can really, if you're using the same stuff over and over again, you're just going to get bored, man. You're going to lose that inspiration. So this could work.
Somebody who sees people through. This is your world, your myth.
Let's see how this would sound moved along a little bit.
Somebody who sees people through. This is your world, your mythical reality.
So we need to move it a little bit, but the potential is here, man.
This is your mythical reality. This is your world, your mythical reality. This is your world, your mythical reality. Your mythical reality. Your mythical reality.
Just need to get this position right. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Your mythical reality. Your mythical reality. Mythical reality. Mythical reality. Your mythical reality. Your mythical reality.
So the mix down on the synths, now that I've reduced the sidechain, does need work, but we'll get to that in a sec.
This is your world, your mythical reality.
Okay, so this is all good. We've got an idea of what we're going to do. Obviously, we need to flesh this out crazy. We've got kind of an idea where it's going to go. Drop one's going to just be hard screeches, I personally think. We're going to go to get a reverse bass kick. And let's reverse bass. We're in B. So it's the only one that I know of in that key. Obviously, we could try and get another one and stretch it. Problem is then you're going to lose a little bit of the kind of clarity of the sound, but we can try it with nimble kick actually, which is a great plugin for hardstyle. If you just take one kick and it'll pitch it up for you without distorting it, like FL Studio ruins it. For example, this. So what you would do is just, so this is A. Actually, it's not. Well, the root is A, so it should be. Okay, so that's it. So now I'm going to move it up from A to B. That's pretty cool. So we're just going to drag it there for now. So we've got the intro here. We're going to have a build up and then straight into this kind of hard first drop, reverse bass. Now I know that the tail's very short. I'm just going to see if this is actually in the right case. Yeah, so sample feels a little bit short. So what I'm doing there is I'm just telling the plugin where the tonal aspect of the sample is. As you can see, there's not much sub there. The sub really hits there. So that's the bit you want to pitch. You don't want to pitch the first initial punchy attack part of the kick. We can even mono the punch. So we can work with this, I think. Usually what I do is I sidechain it to my own kick. But this doesn't sound too bad. We can also do something like this where we have a gap.
World, your mythical reality.
See if we can find. I feel like the kick's just way too short, right? I don't know why.
This is your world, your mythical reality.
So what I did there is I just stretched the sample, and obviously I would not do this within FL Studio. I would only do it within Nimble Kick, because Nimble Kick is stretching it a lot nicer. FL Studio stretching is just a nightmare for everybody involved. So we're going to go down to Serum Screeches from Sound Freak again, and some of these are crazy. So we're going to try and do a screech drop. Just going to see what these sound like elongated, because they have their own kind of sequence.
Your world, your mythical reality.
No, 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 not this one. That's pretty sick.
Mythical reality.
I like that, man. And I'm also thinking we could be fancy and do a Psy-trance, because I think that's also very 2021 to do like a Psy-trance, a hard Psy-trance drop. So we can have a look, see if we could do something like that. So what we would need actually to start a Psy-trance, a hard Psy-trance drop, would be to get a Psy-trance kick, because they are very different to normal punchy kicks. There's one really good one in here. They're very, 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 very punchy. So we would have this. I like this. I like this sound. There's something about it. It's just really cool. What we would also need is a hardstyle kick to layer on top of it. And in addition to that, we would need a Psy bass. Now, there's some cool Psy basses. For example, this one. We would have to pitch it though, that's the issue. I think it's too much. It's not too bad. We could probably fix it with EQ. Please stop. So what I'm going to do is just cut. Not like this, FL. Not like this. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, we're going to take this and duplicate it times 3. I noticed that the sample starts a little bit later. So what I'm going to do there is just chop that first part. Get it nice like that. Now, what we're going to do is stick it on its own. So this is the Psy bass. And what we're going to do is make this one unique, because this one is going to be a lot quieter. So that's what we're going to have. And we're just going to copy this over like this. Sorry guys, this is my first time in FL Studio. I just don't know what I'm doing. Just going to duplicate that and that and that, and then have a rest because it's so annoying duplicating stuff. Anyway, we're going to stick a side chain on as well. Get it tight. Oh, damn. I'm going to have a little double kick here, like a space, bump, bump. All these little things are just, they work so well live, all these little changes. We're also going to keep the Psy bass tailing off into the fill section, because I want to do some cool stuff with the, maybe like an EQ and also like a phaser or something. See what that would sound like. Phase Mistress, for example. What we would do with the EQ is just gradually reduce the low end here. So just create an automation clip there. I'm gonna go there and then back.
Your world, your mythical reality.
So we're going to do lots of fills and stuff. Again, shout out to Sound Freak because they have some really cool little FX shots. Where are we? Sound Freak. Kick FX. So we're in the key of B, which I love about this. They're all key labeled, so you can just drag them from whatever key you're working with. For example, this one's going to be perfect. Obviously gonna have to EQ this. I'm just gonna see how it would sound with the lead bus mixer.
In your mythicality.
Now what I've done there is put it on a mono channel, so it's mono, and then when we've got these other FX, they'll be super stereo, so I think that's a cool thing to do. trying some stuff here. Oh yes.
Mythical reality.
This
Or
is sick.
mythical reality.
Make sure it's not too loud compared to drop 2. So the best way to do that is to just drag over some synths from drop 2 on top of drop 1 and see if they are too loud or if they just sit nicely. So what I'm going to do there is just drag this one over and see how we're looking.
Mythical reality. Mythical reality.
So what we've learned there is the bass and the kick is pretty good, but the screech is so quiet, so we really need to boost that up. And maybe this screech is too often, so maybe it's just...
Reality.
Maybe the first one only.
Mythical reality.
Sick, man. Now we need that hardstyle kick we were talking about. Maybe I like this one better. Cool. Right, so let's get that hardstyle kick before I forget. We can use good old favorite. So we're getting an idea of the structure now. I like to just get basic ideas of drops so that I know what I'm doing. Like I haven't finished that break at all. I've just put it down. Just the idea. So tomorrow I could come back. If this was a song I was making for my own, I'll come back and do a little bit more on that bit, a little bit more, and just do that, as opposed to trying to finish the whole thing in one day, because the next day you would have better ideas. So I think it's better to just get little bits down and work upwards from there. Let's get this one. It's not nice. It's not the nicest key, I will admit. See what we can do though. So what I'm doing here is just creating an automation clip for the volume, because I want the volume to duck away. I only want that first bong, bong, so that the side bass can come in nicely. have to boost some frequencies here. What we're going to do, I think we're going to just get rid of the lows. So this sounds clean. Obviously we've got distortion issues with the Psy bass. So I'm just EQing it where I think it sounds good. Now we're gonna have to solve this issue of the sub bass, because this Psy sample doesn't have enough sub bass. What it does have is good bass, but not good sub.